Good morning, everybody. It's Sally, and it's early in the morning, and I'm gonna, I am greenlighting my day, reading, of course, Facebook scrolls and a lot of the things that are posted about, conflict in the world and skewed political perspectives via our variety of choices of news media. Watched a video that explains why Syria is Syria and what goes on there and who are all the parties involved. And of course, a wonderful article by our very own Julia, who blogs here on occasion, who lives in Africa, and wrote a beautiful blog expressing why there's no filter on her Facebook photo. And rightly so. She lives in a nation torn by terrorism on a daily basis, up close and personal. They can't travel. People can't leave the city because if they go off north, they go off into the countryside. They can't because there are evil terrorists all over there too. So, and then it wasn't a week ago, we were dealing with Veterans Day. And in my own life, I've been reading a book about ageless living and how to live as if you are not an age. I know that doesn't seem like that matches, but what it does is a very empowering book about living your own life to the fullest. And what that has done is almost polarized me away in the reality of the ugliness of the world we live in. And the whole thing with the war theme of Veterans Day and realizing, war's crap. Fighting, murder, pillaging, selfish, evil is, that's not to say all war is not just. So there are some places that you need to do something. There are times things need to be done. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But in the end, it's all darkness. It's all hate. It's all grief. It's all victims and bullies, and it's just stuff I don't want to dwell on. Does that mean I want to spend my life with my head in sand? Well, I have tried as much as I could, living outside of Washington, D.C., to not watch the news. Yeah, I watch national news to some degree, very limited, depending on what's going on in the world. I don't want to know. I know that sounds terrible. I watch a lot of stuff about presidential, elections when that comes around. But really, in general, anytime I watch the news, local news, all about who's been murdered on what street, it doesn't matter where I live. I don't want to hear the bad news. I want to hear positive things in my life. I want positive stuff poured into my brain cells and into my spirit. It does me no good. It does me no good. It does me no good to dwell on all the horrors of the world and all the things that can go wrong, that are unjust. It does me no good. Better for me to be strong and have a better mental health perspective to be able to hold those victims up in my heart, in my spirit, by whatever mode that takes. It does me no good to get wrapped around the axle as if the sky is falling, which, let's face it, people, basically the sky has been falling since the day man walked upright. From the tiniest way to the biggest way, the sky is falling. But at the same time, if that's all you see, it's not much of a life. Who wants to live in a place where the sky is always falling and you can't see anything but that? The thing about the Ageless Goddess book that I'm reading is it's reminded me that even though I can say that I'm not aging, and I can have a positive mental attitude, and they aged is not part of my framework of reference, and so I can keep me younger mentally, so it keeps me younger physically, which is sort of the whole ball of wax of the book. Positive, life affirming, no labels on me, keeps you younger and whatever and whatever. The reality is, folks, I might not have but another 20 or 30 years to live on this planet. I might be gone tomorrow. I might make it to 100. Who knows? I don't know if I want to make it to 100. It depends on how positive I feel and how my body's holding up. But the point is, I've reached a point in my life where you can see that the time is running out on my lifespan. 58. It's still young in my mind in ways that I can embrace. But the reality is I'm not 20. My whole life is not ahead of me. Can I live a lifetime in a day, in a month, in a year, in 20 years, in 30 years? Yes. Can I have a wonderful life filled with the things that are good and productive and joyful and love? Yes. So I'm not sorry, and I'm grateful for every day I have. But the reality is, the shorter your time is, your perspective changes. And you're just grateful for the simple things, the good things, the beautiful things. And I don't want to get wrapped around the axle. War is always going to be here. Sadly, terrorism will always be here because there will always be sick, twisted people and evil. I don't want to focus on those things. It doesn't mean I don't want to know what's going on. I do. But I don't want to see it 24/7. Doesn't make me very productive. It's not enriching to my life. That's how I'm greenlighting my day. Very cheerful, right? All I'm saying is, everyone's got to choose how much they can swallow. And I'm choosing to be supportive in the ways I can, but to focus on the good and to focus on my life and the day ahead of me. It all starts here. You guys take care, and I'll see you next week. Bye.